Hello everybody, welcome back to The Life's Good. Now, I put a video on yesterday where I introduced my taking over the new allotment plot. And I've been back on the plot this morning and I've attempted to make a start and do a few things down there. And I recorded whilst I was there. Unfortunately, there's a problem with the microphone and some of that recording, the sound quality is very poor. You can't hear clearly what I'm saying, but you do get the gist of it. I've attempted to edit it, that wasn't successful, so I've chosen to leave it as I've recorded it because I don't really feel I've got the chance to record it exactly the same again as it was during the progress of the work that I recorded. I'll go back and it won't be the same, so I'm going to leave it as it is. Watch the video. I won't be offended if you turn off and watch something else instead because the quality of sound is poor. But please bear with me. The sound quality is iffy, but the video's okay, I'm sure. And whilst I was down there this morning, I found on the plot that we have some potatoes. So I've been bringing up potatoes. So I've harvested potatoes from the plot. There are some raspberries and some black currants and even some rhubarb down there. I think at the point where I'm introducing the founding of the rhubarb is where it doesn't come up very clearly on the video. So watch my video. Bear in mind the sound quality is poor, but you'll get the basic idea. So thanks for sticking around. Thanks for sticking with me. And don't forget, subscribe. Enjoy the video. Hello again. And as you can see, I've got the tools out and I've been able to do a bit on plot 24. I introduced you to the plot in the last video, showed you the layout, and I did say that I wanted to start establishing the pathways and the general layout of the plot before I go out trying to turn soil and grow things. I want to actually lay it out in the design that I want. And I've started with this pathway here that runs from the side path, which is a communal pathway from the gate to the other allotments. This pathway runs down the middle of my plot. It goes in underneath this overgrown area, which is the back end of the raspberry hedge. And there's a large black currant bush there as well, and some hollyhocks and geraniums and other flowers, and an awful lot of bindweed and grass in there right through. And my plan is to have this path run straight through to the front door of the shed, which will be on that side of the plot, and adjacent to the shed there will be my compost frames and a water collection barrel of some description. I haven't decided what I'm using yet, haven't found anything yet, but I'm looking around. You never know what's going to turn up. So the shed and the compost frames with a little roof over the top will collect rainwater and guide it into the through guttering and tree pipes that go into the butt or the container next to the shed. I've actually got a little compost frame here that I've knocked together myself. I had some spare timber. I'll take it off there in a minute and let you have a little close look at that. It's not in its final position, but I have assembled it this morning just to leave it on the plot. Now, during my clearing and digging and so on this morning, I've unearthed this, which is the original number board for the plot. So plot number 24 does have its own official signpost. So I've got to decide now whether it's going to be in this corner, that corner, whichever corner. Number 23 has got it near the gate here. So number 17 is there. I'll work it out. I don't know whether to put it in the middle or on the corner, but we'll pop it in the ground somewhere. So I've got the official number 24 signpost. And the other thing is, this morning whilst I was tidying up here and cutting out the pathway, I found some potato plants that were left in the ground, and although they're not very big, I've got, you can hear me rustling around in the pot, I've got a few potatoes here that once they're cleaned and boiled would be lovely with some butter and a bit of parsley. So that'd be nice with supper this evening. There's a few spoils from the plot already, albeit I didn't grow these, they were already here, but there's something here to be used. There's some currants left on the bush down there. There's 1 or 2 raspberries. I've got produce on this plot, albeit overgrown and a mess. There's things here I can use. It's amazing. I love it. And a lady called Emma popped up to see me. She's got a small plot just down the way. She's got a smaller plot just down there. And she popped over and introduced herself and had a little chat. And very kindly gave me some leeks as a welcome present. So I've got some leeks to plant in one of these areas. So that's very nice. That's a nice gesture from Emma. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's been a good day. I've cut out my compost frame. I've been given some leeks. I found the signpost. I've got some potatoes, and I discovered behind I've got a rhubarb crown. It's not in underneath, but there's a rhubarb crown. So that's amazing. I'm going to look after that, and the next year we should have some nice rhubarb. So, and there's sticks on there I noticed. Actually, I could pull that and we could have a rhubarb crumble this evening. Now there's a thought. Gosh, potatoes, rhubarb, my goodness. Find, and it's all for free-ish. Look, I'm going to let you have a look at this compost frame I've made. I'll lift you off of there, and oh, one thing, I found this length of post. It's like a half moon fence rail. It's got a nail in each end, and I've been using this as the guide to edge my path. I've been popping it down. The nail each end stops it from sliding about, and I've been using that as a guide to cut a straight edge on my pathway, just in case you wondered what that was doing on the floor. That length of fence rail is ideal as a straight edge. I've just noticed while we're talking, I've got a bit more metal work. I've got quite a pile of rubbish I've been pulling out. There's all sorts in this ground, but we're getting there. We've made a start. Come and see my compost frame. Well, here's what's one of a pair of compost bins. I call it a bin rather than a frame. I don't like leaving lots of big gaps in these things. You tend to get all sorts growing out of the sides. Seeds on the outside edge germinate and grow. It doesn't rot properly. I tend to like it sealed quite tightly. But this is made from an old, some old fence boards. My son-in-law actually acquired them from his work premises. They had a partition fenceway that was being removed and replaced with something else, and the timber was free to take away, so he acquired it. And the panels are like 6 inches wide, and they were 8 feet long, or 2.4 meters. So I just cut them into 80 centimeter lengths. So it's a square bin, and he put some decking in at home, and there were some trimmed offcuts of decking boards which I've used here just as the strengtheners in the corners. Whacked it all together, screwed it all together. It's quite deep. As I said, I'm going to have 2 of these side by side, and at the front I've used 2 strips of wood either side, so that these front boards actually are removable and slide up and down, so you just gradually build the height up. And I've got some other ones left here, so you just pop them in and slide them down, so when you do need to get in here and empty it or turn the soil or whatever, you can take the boards out of the way and get in there and access your rather lovely compost. But this bin now is ready to be used, but it's not going to stay in this position. As I said, I'm going to put the shed in down the back here, and the bins are going to be next door to the shed, and I intend to put a small roof over the top, like a pent roof, which is going to be angled back, and hopefully that will help collect rainwater, which will be directed by a gutter into a collection vessel or a water butt or something of that description. So this is my little compost bin. So I'm I've actually been constructing as well this morning, so I'm rather pleased with myself. If you're interested in how I went about designing and building this, I can feature that, if you like, on a video. Please let me know, make a comment on the video. Let me know if you want to see how I measured up, cut and assembled this. I have got to make another one, so it'll be no hardship to show you guys how I went about making it. But two of these side by side are going to be ideal on this plot for making my compost and getting rid of everything that I pull out of the ground. At the moment there's far too much green waste product from here. I'm lifting out and pulling out all manner of green vegetation waste, which would just go all soggy in here. So I'm just piling those up. I've got various piles of them on the plot at the moment. They would just dry off and rot down a bit there, and eventually I could either put it in here or maybe even burn it off if it's dry enough. There's all sorts of other things I've been pulling out of the ground. I've got quite a collection of rubbish here. Old scaffold boards, fence posts, metal bars, all manner of things. An old washing line. That could have been somebody's garden line, I suppose, but it's all tangled up in the weeds here. So we made a start. We're getting there. We're getting the pathway cut out. I'm edging my plot and I've got some leeks to plant now, so I'm going to have to find a spot for those. And we've been harvesting produce, and I'm just leaning around here and just pulling that off of there, because here we have a rather lovely raspberry, and that's all mine. Thank you very much. Well, thanks for popping in. I'll keep you posted as to what I'm up to. I've made a start, as you can see. I'm going to keep pressing on. There's a lot to do, but it's enjoyable and I can see a way forward with it now. The pathways, getting the edges cut, will be a big step in the right direction. Please, if you want, comment. Any advice, guidance, comments. I like all of the communication from everybody. And I'm going to have to crack on and do a bit more clearing and tidying. So come back and see us soon. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that button in the corner, or on YouTube's other buttons, you've got the thumbs up, the bell, all those sort of things. Do that for me, that would be terrific. And come back and see us again. I'm going to crack on now. I'm going to press on, and I will be filming every aspect of what I'm doing on this plot to bring it up to scratch and make it a really useful, attractive and productive allotment garden. So, from the Life's Good on plot 24, it's bye-bye for now. Look after each other. You stay safe, be happy. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.